Well, I didn't think that we were aggressive at all in the first half. You know, we tried trapping the post and staying connected with the bigs. And when you do that, you take your most aggressive guy off guard on the perimeter, which is KJ. So we decided to go back and switch 4 and just let Hunter be a designated trapper. And they didn't get to that a lot. So I actually thought we did a pretty good job second half. Statistically, we really defended and turned them over a few key times. And then offensively we really executed, I thought, you know, the last 7 or 8 minutes.
Do you feel like your guys, you know, they were really sagging off the first half, kind of there.
Our guys were?
No. Their guys,
Indiana.
The way they were playing defensively.
Yeah, they you know, they had 6 feet in the paint a lot of possessions, it seemed like. And you know, I told them before the game, I told the guys, we're not gonna win the game unless we make some shots. And I actually thought the first half we got some good looks behind the arc and didn't make them. And we missed some layups, and we didn't really, I don't know what we were from the free throw line the first half. I thought it was bad. But I don't think that's broken down on the stat sheet. What was it?
6 for 10.
Yeah, so we gave up some opportunities there, but it was an 8-point game that could have been 3 or 5, but it also could have been 13 or 15, because they had some transition opportunities where one time McKenzie, it went off his foot when they had numbers and some stuff like that. So I told our guys we should feel fortunate to be down 8, and 8's still very manageable, and play well the first 8 minutes if it's anyone's game. And we didn't play well out of halftime, but we certainly played from about the 14-minute mark or whatever. I thought we played really well.
You got your closers to finish all of that. Is that just value of being experienced, older dudes?
I think so. I think you know, we got the ball to Hunt where we wanted to get the ball to Hunt when we needed to. Guys drove it. We got to the bonus. Guys drove it more when we were in the bonus and got to the free throw line. And Kevin, obviously, I didn't think he had a great game offensively until the game was actually on the line at game point. Then he makes the huge 3, and then he basically dominates the game offensively for us the last 3 minutes or whatever by driving the ball and getting to the line. So, and Juan's floater game came back. You know, he's such a good floater shooter, and hadn't made him this year, but he came back and looked to score. And I thought Jamari and Marco gave us good minutes. It was a hell of a team win. I mean, it's a great environment. What a place to play. I've been here 3 times in the last 22 years or whatever, and it's as good as any place. And we left out of here happy twice when we were very fortunate to. But that's a great atmosphere.
Bill, there was your first lead in the second half. I think you ran a play. You kind of slowed them down. It was loud. You got it ended up a high-low from Kevin to Hunter that you would call. What made you call that there?
It was actually Coach Townsend's call. Coach Townsend told me in the timeout, he said, "You want to try Utah?" And the team had already left the huddle, so I just yelled at them to run Utah after we got the ball. We usually don't do that. I don't like calling plays after live rebounds. So I can't remember if it was a live. I think it was a live rebound. And I don't do that very often, but you know that you've watched us play enough. But I thought it was best to try to get a touch right where he wanted it.
Bill, you mentioned Hunter. What did you just think about Hunter generally tonight?
I thought he labored the first half. I didn't think he played near as well the first half. He's 4 for 11, and he could have easily been 8 for 11 or 9 for 11. I mean, guys, those are shots he makes. And I didn't think his ball screen defense was terrific the first half. I thought he played pretty darn good the second half. And what Hunt does, as you guys know, I mean, takes pressure off everybody else. I mean, it's great. So all he's got to do is wave his arms a couple of times, and now everybody else gets confidence because he's got confidence, you know. So that was good.
When you've got guys struggling like that, and KJ's bringing energy, bringing offense, production, all that stuff, do you want to play through him? I mean, it
Play
like,
through KJ?
Yeah.
Well, we do.
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch us, we try to short roll with him and have him do a lot of things where he's actually the facilitator. You know, he had 3 assists today, and you know, KJ's 6 of 12, but god dang, he missed one that was, nobody was even around him missing a layup, and then he missed a couple of others that were contested, but those are very makeable. But he's playing the way I want him to play.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, Hunter's playing the way I want him to play too. And we played Hunter away from the basket in the second half to open up driving lanes.
You called a couple timeouts in the first half. Indiana was rolling. Obviously, the atmosphere was really loud. Like, how were you able to kind of keep the game within striking distance, even when Indiana was rolling like that?
Well, it's a long game, and you know, I don't think we played particularly well the first half, but I think we made enough plays to keep it close. And I also, like to my point earlier, Indiana had a couple of opportunities that got away from them because of our good fortune, not because of our good play. So we were fortunate on a couple of things, but that game could have been closer at halftime too if we'd have played, you know, just done a couple of things just a little bit better.
What do you think was going on with Hunter the first half, and is he just the type of guy that just can flip it into?
I think it's basketball.
Yeah.
And I think they're human beings, and I think sometimes they make shots and sometimes they miss the same shots they just made. Kid's playing 38 minutes, you know, he's not coming out, you know, so I thought, you know, to me, he played like an All-American the second half, even though his numbers weren't outlandish, but guys, getting 14 rebounds, I mean, he's basically averaging that, and he's going against two legitimate big guys. He's not going against one, he's going against two, and I think Ware's good. I think he's talented. I think Renault's really talented, and you know, they both played well. And Ware had 15 rebounds, but I thought Hunt did a good job for the most part, knowing it's kind of one against two in a lot of ways when you come to, you know, standing high.
Hunter mentioned Kentucky, and thinking back to that one when you were down and had to find a way to dig. Is this that type of game too? 2 months from now, those guys can look back at it and say,
maybe
Yeah.
this was a harder game.
yeah.
In large part because you're playing on the road instead of playing in a neutral place. But yeah, there was a lot. We were down 14 to Kentucky, but the game just felt different. Like they controlled it at 10 or 11 or 12 or whatever. But then when it gets to 6, it's like, oh geez, we're just 2 possessions out of this thing, and you know, and that's kind of what happened on today.
Indiana lost a true freshman point guard today. What are you expecting out of Cubs, and what did you see when he was on the floor?
Well, we didn't affect him. I mean, we didn't impact him. Turned it over. I don't know what he ended up doing in that way. He had 1 turnover, so he handled it well. But I will tell you this: when he's able to be a backup and they get Xavier back, that's going to be a much better basketball team too. Because I think Xavier's really a good player.
Bill, excluding today's victory over Indiana, what is your fondest memory about coming back here coaching in Assembly Hall?
Well, the last time I came here, Coverdale 5 and Hornsby went 16 of 21 from 3. And the thing I remember most is I got a chance to meet John Mellencamp. That's what I thought was a highlight of the deal. He actually sent a note back to me after we just got beaten 30, saying, "Hey, I'm playing in Chicago if you ever want to come." So that's probably my fondest memory of this place up until today. I think this place reminds me of KU a lot. History, tradition, people respect it. I mean, that's 2 true blue bloods out there playing. And I think that you can kind of sense it's different here than most places where you have to manufacture the atmosphere. Here you don't, and you don't have to at Kansas either. And so it just felt a little different in that way. Fun game to be a part of.
Bill, just looking at the play from Mari, I mean, he hasn't played a ton the last couple games. He comes in, hits a big 3, has a nice assist. Can you just talk about how big that is for him to come in a moment like that?
Yeah, he did a couple of other good things. You know, he tried to make a play when it wasn't there. Sometimes he wants to do too much, but he made a great pass in the first half, and of course sticks that big 3, guards pretty well. And then he went to the offensive glass one time and forced a potential 5-point play. Didn't end up being that, but forced a potential 5-point play. So yeah, he's doing well. I'm getting more and more confidence in him.
There's so much made of Hunter and getting booed and him liking that and the way he reacts to it. He obviously handles it fine, and he just talked about how much he likes it. Do you like a guy like that is on your side and can handle all the boos and
you know, the reason he's getting booed isn't because of anything he's done at Kansas.
Right.
It's because of something he did or the appearance of doing it in Michigan. And yeah, I've known Hunt for ever since going back to the under 19 team. when he tried out, or was it under 18, I can't remember, but I like him. He's not disrespectful to anybody, he just has fun with it.
Right.
You mentioned Kevin kind of becoming the focal point of the offense. Like, what does it say about him being able to do that, even with playing with 4 fouls for so long?
I don't think when you get under 3 minutes, anybody thinks foul problems. I think everybody thinks, let it go. And so, I don't think offensively he played at all thinking that he was in foul trouble. So, but he was aggressive late.
What about Galloway? How good?
He was great. I told him after the game, I mean, he's great. He's labored shooting the ball this year. And last year he shot 45% from 3, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, so he's a good shooter. He just hadn't shot it great. And I thought he played great. It's easy to say take away his right hand. He still got to his right hand every time. So, 28 isn't a respectable number for us that we did a good job at all. I mean, he got the best of us, but I think he's good. I think he's good.
Your vets have all done this, but for Jamari and Furphy and El Marco and those guys to get this first true road win, I mean, what can that do, do you think, for them and feeling this and experiencing it?
Well, I think I'm glad we played at Illinois. The exhibition game probably helped us a little bit, and we're growing up. Big deal is, we talk about a lot of guys, but still the one guy you should focus on is DeJuan. He was DeJuan Harris today offensively, and he's got to be able to do that for us. And when the ball's in his hands 70% of the time, and he, for the most part, can make sure we get a shot, I think he deserves a lot of credit, even when other guys may be getting the shine, because he gives us a lot of confidence.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Bill.
All right, guys.